keep the interceptions down a week later? You feel like y'all are living up to that goal this far?
Yeah, we've done a good job. We've done a good job all spring ball protecting the football, and not only that, not only throwing interceptions, but making sure we're not putting the ball in jeopardy at all. Not feeling like we ever have to force something, and you know, giving ourselves the ability to play the next play, even if it's a broken play or tight coverage, and we need to hold it and check it down or throw it away. Just that's going to continue to be a point of emphasis for us, because we've got to, you know, that's the things that we harp on: explosive plays and turnovers and interceptions. Obviously, a big piece of that.
Coach, in week 3 now, has any player or even position group really stood out to you?
You know, nobody that I can put my thumb on. We've had guys that continue to flash from every spot, from every position. You know, I think as a unit, we've gotten better and better. You know, it's been nice. You know, like I talked about before, just the older guys that have been here, not even older guys, but just guys that have been here on our unit in the program that are able to kind of speed up the process of coaching these other guys, these new guys, freshmen, transfers, and bringing them up to speed. You know, that part of it I feel really good about it. And that's the thing I probably noticed the most, is just being so much farther ahead this year than we were last year at this time.
What did you see out of, you know, Chaston and Cole and John David Black at quarterback?
Yeah, they're all you know, all very talented. They're cerebral guys. They know what they're doing. You know, that's the thing that's probably most impressive, especially for Chaston and Cole to be here. You know, it's April. They've been on campus for about 3.5 months, and for them to go into a team setting and be able to operate and move the football is really impressive from that standpoint. And then, you know, just try and tell, you know, JD all the time, like, I don't care that you're a walk-on, dude. You're one of the most talented people on this field. Like, you watch him throw the football, you know, it's as pretty as anybody that we have. And so just making sure that he understands, like, and he knows this, but you know, he's somebody that cares and loves the game, and he's too hard on himself at times. And so just giving all of them, you know, they're impressive up to this point. And they've got it pretty good, because they've got 2 older guys, and even Raheem, that, you know, those are extensions of me. They coach those guys sometimes harder than I do.
Saw Caden throwing a little bit. How is he kind of progressing towards getting back to being 100%?
Yeah, it was great to see number 4 out there again, slinging around a little bit, and we'll slowly progress him in. You know, it's April, and as important as spring ball is, it's not near as important of having him in September. And so we'll continue to sprinkle him in. He got some team stuff today. He got some skelly, and so he'll continue. He looks really good. You know, I know he's frustrated. You know, he gets pissed every time I tell him that he's not going in. But it's good, because it's been good for him, because he gets to see the game from afar. And, you know, sometimes that's the best thing for people. And, you know, obviously he got to do it some last year, and he grew a ton, and I think even more so he's gotten to do it this spring as well, not getting all the reps.
What are you seeing out of, you know, Jaron Waiters? Seems to be a guy registered last year, seems to be a guy taking a step maybe.
Yeah, he is what you want from a young receiver from a development standpoint. You know, came here last year as a true freshman, you know, got knocked around, got thrown into a new offense that nobody else around him knew either. And so he's developed, and I couldn't be more excited about Jaron. He's taken a step. If you wanted me to pinpoint somebody, like, from this off season that I thought, you know, separated themselves as far as how they worked, how they approached, like, for him to be what would be a you know, redshirt freshman, he has the ultimate pro mindset. It's just preparing every day, working his tail off, and he's another guy. And we got a bunch of guys like this, but he's another guy that he wants it. Like, he wants to be great, and that's what excites me the most, because he's really, really talented, but he has the ability to go do special things. And he, like I said, he wants it. He wants to be great.
The tight end room as well, you lost obviously Savage and Casey, but pretty good talent stepping in. So just what do you see out of that group?
Yeah, you walk out there and you look at that group. It's an impressive looking group. You know, those first 2, the older guys, you know, DeCirio and JC they are ultra talented individuals. They you you know, they do things every practice that kind of wow you. And the thing I've been most proud about them is they've been consistent in every part of the game, whether it's run game, you know, catching the football. They understand that, you know, the more they can do, the less they have to come off the field. And they take pride in that. They do a great job on the perimeter blocking. And then, you know, really excited about the two young guys, Caleb and Kamen. I've said this before, but like, obviously the quarterback position is the toughest still to play in this offense. Probably next is the tight end position. Just from all the things we ask them to do schematically, it can be a lot for those young guys. And so kind of like those two young quarterbacks, really proud of Caleb and Kamen for just their ability to get in there and be able to operate and function, you know, having been on campus for three or 4 months. So really excited about them and just the, you know, the future of those guys in the room.
Recruiting wise, Coach, you obviously came in last year this time with a vision. Now you have something to put on tape. Like, have you seen an uptick in recruiting interest as you head into kind of these summer months?
Yep, absolutely. And that's what, you know, that's what you want. You want to, like you said, last year we were trying to sell a dream. It was like, well, this is, you know, this is what we did at North Texas. This is what we did at USC. This is what we did at Ole Miss. And, you know, that helps because they see it. But for them to watch purple and gold go do it in Dowdy, like that just hits different because, you know, they're able to see us do it. And for us to go, you know, throw for over 3,000 yards, have a 1,200-yard rusher, you know, have two receivers over 700 yards, like those are things, because these kids, like, they look at numbers and they see where are stats, where can I go get stats, and so that's been exciting just to see people want to be a part of that. And you know, we try and play an exciting brand of football, and guys see that, they like the up tempo, and you know what we tell people and our sell really is, you know, the more we snap the ball, that's just another play that somebody gets to touch it, and so that's what we try and sell, and we for sure have seen just people, just recruits on campus. I know Blake talked about it the other day, but that's what you see is you see interest from people all over wanting to come see it.
Anything else for Coach Baker?
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.